welcome. So I thought I would do the puzzle rush and just hit record. I got the day off of work. I got my chores done, and so I thought I would just chill and do some chess puzzles and run my big fat mouth along the way. So, having said that, why don't we do it to it? So this is the first puzzle. I think the first thing I noticed on black pieces is my king is boxed in. However, I can't take. It's not as simple as that. Right now the piecewise we're evened up, and so I think if I take this knight and they take my rook is defended. So yeah, I think that's it. So now we go into the end game. I know the puzzle will end as soon as I take this. So we go into the end game. I have two minor pieces. My opponent only has one minor piece, and I think that's the thing to the puzzle. So with this one, the F file is open, and I have two major pieces lined up on the F file. So that's good. So this should just be a mate in one. And here we have similar situation. C file is open. My rooks are lined up. Yeah, so let's start going in that direction. Yeah. Okay, and so here I'm playing the black pieces. So I own the second rank, and the B file is open. And if I hop up here, I'll own the first rank as well. So that'll be mate in one, and there's no defenders. My queen is being attacked. I think the gag of it is I think the author wants you to say, hey, oh, I'm in check. Am I in check? Oh, well then I didn't realize I was in check. So actually, I will have to take the queen. I didn't realize I was in check. I thought I wasn't. So that is clearly everybody else's fault but mine. No, it isn't my fault, obviously. That was a splatter ass moment. Splatter ass moment. Okay, so two rooks lined up. E file, it's open. There's no defenders. King has to move back, and then it's mate. So I'm going to try to. I go a little slower when I do puzzles because I'm not as good, and I would go faster if I was capable of doing so, but I'm not. So, all right, my opponent's king is blocked in, so there's check. It only has one defender, and I'll come in and take, and then that should be mate. Yes, so, okay. So we're going to keep going, and I'm going to keep doing these, and I'm going to keep running my big fat mouth the whole time. And I think that's what people want. I think people want me to run my big fat mouth. And you want to know what I think? No, nobody wants to hear the lunatic ramblings of a foul-mouthed malcontent. Oh, well, okay then. So pieces have to work together, the knight and the queen. And so that's what this puzzle is going to be all about right here. So the knight and the queen working together. Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. This bishop, it has a defender. Yeah, so I almost fell for it. Oh, this is the seventh puzzle, and I almost fell for that gag. There's a defender. I saw the D2 square and said, huzzah. No. There is a defender. So we'll just do this. All right. So close call. So is this a mate in one? Looks like a mate in one because the H file is open and I own it with a major piece. This is a hard-working pawn in enemy territory, and I appreciate that. So I should just slide over to the F7, and that should be mate, right? Is there any way to defend that? No. I'm in check. Okay, so, you know, I didn't realize I was in check. What's the problem? No. Splatter ass moment number 2. All right, so I was in check. I gotta start paying little closer attention here. So this I think is going to be a free queen because I'm going to step up. The king has to get out of the way, and then I'm going to pick up the queen. And you know, it looks like, hey, you could do this, and maybe that's the gag of it, is they want you to see this first. I think the author of this puzzle wants you to see that first, but this is going to sound hypocritical, but make sure you look at everything like I have not been doing. And so, you know, there's only one square I can go to. Okay. And is this mate in 1? Using pieces together. Using pieces together. Okay. So, let's see what we got here. This, and then these 2 major pieces are lined up in its mate. This is a double stacked pawn. So this F pawn, the F2, cannot get out of the way soon enough to have the queen help. So, I think it's the mate in 2. There's movement 1, and, oh, well, okay, I need an extra step. Okay, it still doesn't have an escape route, but, so there it is. Okay. All right. So, so I own all of the D file. It's open. So if I come over here, okay, I got it. This G pawn is the key because it's going to defend the knight. So then, see, this is all about what I own, like future ideas. You know, what will I own? So when I go here for check, it has to go here. The king has to go here. Then my major piece is free to go to D7, and its mate, because the king cannot retake the knight because of this hard-working pawn. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. Are there some checks? I mean, first of all, I see a beautiful fork right here. And in case you don't know, if you're not familiar with my channel, remember my rule of fork. Fork me, fork you. Fork me, fork you. That's the rule of fork. I'd love to do this fork, but it takes. And then I can come back, but I don't know that it gets me anywhere. If I come here, takes. Okay, so let's just take a step back and do a piece count. And if you see the solution already, you can feel free to laugh at me. So I got 3 major. My opponent has 3 major. I've got 2 minor. My opponent has 2 minor. Pawn looks to be even up, pretty much. Yes. Okay, so I think this is just going to be, I don't see where there's any mates or anything like that. I think it's just going to end up being ahead of material. But, because if I threaten that queen, take, and I'll take. So I'm just trying to decide if I should start with the pawn or not, because I think I have to start with the pawn, and then it'll probably take with its lesser, its minor piece. I'll take with my major, take, and then take. Yeah, and then so going into the end game, I'll be up a piece. So, okay, boom, boom, boom. And now you see, because as soon as I let go, the puzzle will end. You'll see that we both have one major. I have two minor. My opponent only has one minor. Okay, neat little puzzle. Okay. So my knee-jerk reaction is to go here for check. I mean, I can go here. And boom. Okay, so let's take a look at this. If I take, and it takes, then I go up. Then it comes back to defend. That's check. Okay, actually, because I think here's where the puzzle gets a little more complicated, is this h3 pawn. Which leads me to believe I should do a queen exchange first. And then I come up here. And if it comes down here, then alt. No, I should. I feel like I should use that bishop first. And force my opponent to lose a major piece. Because if I do the queen exchange, I feel like there's some ways it can get out. So I feel like it needs to be this first. And now I'm free to take the queen, and it'll be an exchange there. And now, because I own all of this, and the h-pawn owns the g2 square, that was the difference. That's what made it, having this pawn here is helpful, but it made the pattern a little different. So yeah, okay, good puzzle. A little tricky there, in my opinion. I thought that a little tricky. Okay, what was the thing I didn't see? Okay, so the f-pawn took g. Okay, so black to move. My king owns this. So I think kind of a similar deal. Now I can push the pawn, the f pawn, and it's check. It's defended with the on the third rank because of the rook. And as the king slides up, it's mate, because there's nowhere to go. Boy, these hard-working pawns are doing amazing. All right. And so, where are we at? And my recorder, I put my recorder in the terrible spot. It's blocking some information where it says whose move it is, where it's white or what. So I have to pay attention. That, you know, it's, okay, black just moved. Looks like there was an en passant. Okay, so now it's white's move. And so, okay, so here's my knee-jerk reaction is I want to go here for check. There's only one other thing it can do is bop and then boom. Because these, boy, these, these pawns, you know, these are working well. And what's going on here? I've had so many puzzles where here back to back to back to back. And these pawns are doing amazing. Okay, so that's what it was. So, and let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so I've got 2 major, my opponent has 2 major, pawns are evened up. If I push, the D file is open, I've got a major piece on it. And the C file is semi-open, because pawn owns it, but I own this. So if let me do it Jeff Foxworthy style. If I moved to D2, I might be an average chess player. Probably what's going to happen is this. But again, this pawn owns this B4. I feel like a bingo when somebody calls B4. B4. Before what? Before what? All right. It's funny every Thanksgiving, let me tell you. It's funny. We hear it every Thanksgiving. Before. Before what? All right, so let me clear this out. If I go here and my opponent goes here, then it's mate and it's over. If king goes there, I can go here and then there, and then now it's finally the same pattern eventually. So I think what's going to happen is I think the king is going to retreat to here and my queen is going to go here to the C1, and this rook will already own all this. This hardworking pawn owns the one and only escape route, and so I think that's going to be it. So let's put my theory to the test, shall we? Yes, so that was it. Okay. And so, what do we got? White to move. You know, honestly, I think this is just going to be rook takes rook. And this is a good puzzle because part of good fundamental, good clean chess, all things being equal, when it comes down to your end game and it's a matter of who's going to promote the pawn first, you want to get your king on top of the pawn. And so my king is going to be here in the action. My opponent's king is going to be down the board. So this is where, yeah. So I was clearly going to promote. If you don't, here, let's open that back up. I want to show why. Just in case. Okay, so, and then here's where the puzzle ended, because this king owns this. My opponent's king can't get in on the action. I'm going to take this, okay, and then, well, the king can slide over one more, whatever. Okay, well, whoop-de-doo, Basil. I'm still free to promote because my king is on top of my pawn, and it's just a matter of time. Good to know for end game tactics. Okay, so what do we got going on here? What's this? This is puzzle 19. So I can go here. It's black to move, right? Yeah, okay. And the king goes here. I can use my bishop. And then can't go here. Has to go here. And then, what if hate that this pawn is here. But it is. And that's the way it is. Is this knight able to get in? Oops. On anything? Yeah, actually. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. If the... Oh, but why would the king end up there? If the knight, it can't because of this. So I think that it's going to be, okay, so first things first, let's do this. And I think we need to bring this bishop in as well. And we're gonna have this. Then I'm gonna come back over here for this. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now. And then I can start bringing some other pieces in is probably what's going to happen. Okay, let's do this because I have, yeah, that was it. Okay, I need to take a short break and we'll be right back. And I think I'm going to have to relinquish this part of the office here because I think my wife pulled in and this is usually where she does her work. So I will probably have to move to a different spot of the house to finish, to keep going, hopefully be successful. Thanks for hanging with me this long. I'm going to keep running my big fat mouth. We're going to get some of this stuff figured out, so I'll be right back. All right, so I am back and we're looking at the 20th puzzle. And the first thing I notice is this bishop is eyeing the king. I know in games a lot of times I get nervous if there's a long-range officer eyeing my king like this. So my queen can slide over here for check, and the one defender that my opponent has cannot be used because there's a hard pin on it. So the king has no choice but to go there, and then taking the queen to g2 should be check. So let's do it to it, as some people say. And that's it. So let's go to 20 and or 21. This is 21st puzzle. So if I bring the queen to e4, that's check, and my queen will own all this diagonal and this. So my opponent, I can bring, the B file is open. Oops, sorry for that. The B file is open, so I can bring my rook into the equation. And because my queen will own this diagonal, I think that will be it. So let's put our plan into motion. I think it's safe. It looks like it is. Okay, so now remember, now my queen owns all this, so I'm free to bring my rook into the game. Nothing there. Okay. And now it's just throwing pieces at the problem that doesn't go anywhere. So, okay. All right. So now it is white to move. And let's see what we got here. I don't see any checks right off the bat. So let's just take a look at something here. So my opponent has 2 rooks, which equal 10 points. My queen is 9, so the 2 rooks is better than the queen. And I have 2 minor pieces. My opponent has 2 minor pieces. Pawns look to be evened up. So technically I'm down 1 point if you want to look at it as that. So it could be a puzzle where I'm just gaining some material, or it could be, I'm not sure what. Now the knight does not have a defender, so let's take a look at this. If I could get my queen to sit here, that would be pretty amazing. Could be defended by this pawn, but I don't think my opponent is just gonna let that happen, of course. So one thing that I want to be aware of, I know this isn't a game, it's a puzzle, but is a hard pin could be put on my dark squared bishop. So just try and look at everything. What's this puzzle rated? I think the last one was 1198, if I read that right. Okay, so I don't see where I get put in check. I think because I can make a movement, I could be put into check actually. And then I could get out of it. I could get out of check. So I could go here. Do I have time? Do I have time as in tempo? So let's play this out. If I go here with my queen, and my opponent puts me in check, oops. I can't go here because of that. I can slide over. And then does that give me time to come up here? Yes. And my opponent can't go there, so if they go there, I can drop down here. Okay. So I think because you have to use your pieces together, I think I need to get my queen into the action over here. And I'm probably going to lose a bishop, but I'm probably going to get put in check, but I think that's what needs to happen. Let's see, is there something else I'm missing? I don't think so. So I'm going to go for it. Okay, so now I'm in check. There's only one square I can go to, just as Count Dooku predicted. So I'm going to go there. Yeah. And I have to take, I have to go back here again, and I have to take. Okay, so the puzzle ended, but I wanted to make sure that the audience understood what was happening here. Okay, this is where the puzzle ended because the next move was here. Okay, and then the king has to go here, the knight goes here, and it's mate. Okay, so you can pause and take a look at that, take a looky-loo at that. So we are on puzzle 23 now, and the first thing I notice is that my knight, it's black to move, right? Yeah, okay, like I said, my record box is actually, I put it in a bad spot and I can't see the thing where it tells you. I just have to look and pay attention and go, okay, white moves, so now it's black's turn. And it is kind of obvious, I guess, the way the board's orientated. So, having said that, can I just move the queen to f3 and its mate? These are in the 1200s, So this puzzle's probably a 1250, 1260. Are there still mate in ones in the 1200s? I feel like the 1200 ELO puzzles are a little high for mate in one. So that makes me think I'm missing something. Let me clear out these arrows. Okay. If I move the queen here, it's check. My queen owns this, and my knight owns this. So that's check and mate. Is there any defenders for the F3 square? If this was a timed puzzle, I would have already done it. However, it's not a timed puzzle. And I'm trying to think out loud and run my big fat mouth. And I know nobody wants to hear from a foul-mouthed malcontent, but I think it's just that I can't. I'm hesitating because it shouldn't be that easy, but I guess it is. Okay, that was weird. That seemed very, very weird. Okay. So it's white to move. If on the F file I take the rook on F8, it does have a defender here. Oh, okay. Okay, I see it. Okay, so if I take, that's check. My knight owns the C7 square. So there's only one thing to do, and that's defend with the bishop. And then, and this is the trick of it, I'm going to take the bishop. Is that what I want to do? Yeah. Because then when the king comes back, I'm going to do this fork. And remember, you know, fork me, fork you. Then I'm going to take the queen. Yeah, so it's not a mate, but it's going to be a take the queen situation. So that's what we're going to put into motion. And now, in case the puzzle ends, that's the fork that I was talking about. So, okay, they're going to let me actually follow through with it. Good. Okay, so there's that. Now, moving on to puzzle 25, and it's white to move. And so, okay, so I'm struggling because I think it's a mate in one. Am I missing something? This is getting weird. What, the last puzzle was rated what, 1347? So this is probably somewhere near a 1400 puzzle. It can't just be a mate in one. Go here from queen and then it's mate, right? Is there no defenders? It's white to move. I'm sorry to take so long, but I just want to make sure. This is weird. I feel like some of the puzzles leading up to this one were more difficult than this one. But yeah, then that's mate and there's nothing to do. Okay. That was weird. Okay. So here, using pieces together, I got a minor and a major lined up. So if I go here for check, has to go there. Then that's check, but it can defend, and I've got some little dogs run around. So if you hear the little dogs in the background, I apologize, but it's no big deal. I might introduce you to them later. They help me. My dogs help me in my chess videos, and also on my automotive channel. I have an automotive channel that's mostly hot rods and stuff that I deal with, but so I'm passionate about chess and cars, but my chess hobby is a lot more affordable. My car hobby is expensive, too expensive. I cannot keep up with a lot of the people that I'm in clubs with. So, but chess is a little more affordable. So anyway, okay, let's get this puzzle going. So let's do that. And I wish this pawn wasn't here, but it is. And I'm tempted to do this first, then that happens, then this happens. But there's escape routes. So I think I'm going to do the bishop first. And yeah, it's just throwing pieces at the problem. So, okay. Okay, so I see, the first thing I see is this diagonal's owned. So I come here and again, just look, what do I own? What does my opponent own? Blah, blah, blah. This knight owns the f7 square. So honestly, is it just mate in one? What are these ELOs? The last one was 1437. And this one is is that mate? Okay. Man, I don't understand. Some of them other ones I thought were a lot more difficult than these ones, and so we'll see. I might have a big old turd surprise waiting on me when I get to some of these next ones. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I can tell you, my knee-jerk reaction is to go there. Bishop on h6 is defended by the rook. My rook has the 6th rank pinned down there. So yeah, because the bishop will own this diagonal, the king cannot retreat to the f8, and then I simply bring my rook into the 8th rank. Does have one defender, but then it's easily removed, and so that's it. Yeah. All right. So moving on. So this is an interesting end game to get. I tell you, I have a chance. You got a major piece in front of a minor, or in front of the king. What am I saying? So I'm tempted. Let's see if I go here. And it's take. Whoops. Sorry. Let me draw that again. Rook goes to e4. Take. And then if the king comes over, I take this. And the ideal next spot for the king would be the f5, but it can't because my pawn will be sitting here. This is what I was talking about, future ideas, folks. So this allows me to get on top of my pawn and promote. So that's what I'm going to do. So there's that. Okay, and so we'll do that. Yep. All right. So it didn't work out. It did not work quite like I predicted, but it would have been the same end result. Okay. So my eye immediately sees this. However, I do realize that the F knight is protecting the H2 square, and this pawn is preventing any kind of lining up. So is there a way to move this one defender and move this pawn? Probably not. That'd take too much time. Time is in tempo. So there's something else going on. Okay, so let's just, this is the 30th puzzle. All right, so let's get to 30 without any strikes and see where we end up. Let's just do a quick count here. Okay, so 3 major. My opponent, 3 major. Okay, perfect. So, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, so we both have 4 minor. Is it a full house? Oh, the E-file is open. And so the E-file is open. And, oh, I see one thing that might be a problem, and that is I have a rook underneath my opponent's queen, which is good for me. So as soon as I move my knight, the queen is immediately under attack. There's only one square I can move my knight to, and I'm trying to somewhat draw this out slowly because I would draw it out faster, but I don't know that I have the capability to play faster. I'm always capable of deep thought, but not quick. It is what it is. So what happens if I just move my knight the hell out of the way? The queen is probably going to go somewhere. And then is this a free bishop? Okay, this is what I'm thinking. Is this simply just get a free bishop? I don't see any mates. Is this just simply a free bishop? Because the queen's got to get out of the way. Well, hang on, because what if I move my knight? Yay, congratulations. And the queen says, well, I'll just move over here. Then I don't know that it's a free bishop because it's it'll take my major piece, my rook, right? So what if I move my pawn and then the queen? Let me start over. If I move my pawn, which is backed up by the queen, and this queen says, wow, I got to get off this file, the E file, and goes here, my bishop goes here, it's backed up by this pawn. Then the queen's in trouble, right? It doesn't have a place to go. I think it's more that I'm going to gain the queen. Okay, look, right here. The queen has one place to go, and that's here. My bishop swings in. Okay, my light squared bishop, and owns all this. The queen goes here, it's doom. Queen goes here, it's doom. Queen goes here, it's doom, because of this action. So now I understand it's not just get the knight out of the way, it's take the queen. Okay. And before I just jump in here, let me make sure. So now I'm thinking I do this, And it's, yeah, it's doom. That there's no escape for this queen, right? Well, it could defend with the knight, and then I just take again, right? And then I'm taking a knight instead of a queen, because then the queen can now have an escape route here. So maybe in the end I'm just getting a free knight. For right now, I'm using my minor piece to attack the queen. That can't be wrong. And it isn't. Okay. And so now, I'm sure it's just this, but let me double check, because we're getting into the 1600s, and I can't tell you how many times I've had perfect puzzles where I do the first two moves, and then I think, oh, that's it, ha ha, and then, oh, there's just one. And it's like, oh no, the trick of it was the last little movement. And so before I take this queen, let's just make sure, because, yeah, okay. All right, perfect. So, having said that, that's great. I am going to freshen up my drink and come right back, and we're going to do the 31st puzzle. And I'm back to drinking lots of water. So I'm going to take a break, and we'll be right back to pick up where we left off. All right, so I'm back, and so we are looking at 31st puzzle, and so these get into the higher ELOs. For me, the higher ELOs. Some of you may watch my videos and laugh and think, no, that's not the higher ELOs, but okay. So we got the knight owning the F and the H on the second rank. One thing I notice is my king is could be boxed in, and I see where the D rook, the D file is open. It's an open file in the D, and my opponent owns it with a rook. And honestly, if it comes down into the D8, I'm in big trouble. This bishop is here to save the day. If this situation, if this scenario happens, this D rook is going to be what saves me. I realize my queen is under attack here, so there's a lot of things going on. Let me clear out this. This situation makes me hesitant to move the D. I'm sorry, the D rook makes me hesitant to move the dark squared bishop, because my dark squared bishop is guarding D8. So I want to use my queen, and then if this happens, I'll just take the major piece. What I suspect will happen is, this is what I'm predicting, is I'll go here for check to the E3 for check, and the queen will move back, and we're probably looking at a fork is probably what's going to happen. And I think that's what's happening. I think the author of this puzzle is trying to trick us and get us to use this, but we need that dark squared bishop to defend. So I'm going to do a check with my queen and see what happens. Yeah, I'm just trying to quickly look to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I'm pretty convinced that's what's supposed to happen. So let's see. Okay, so now I said I was going to go here next for this wonderful fork, but is there something else I'm missing? Because if I come here with the queen, it'll just take the G1, and I don't see any mate. I think this is just I think it's just a fork, and I'm trading. Yeah, okay. Okay, that was a nice little puzzle. A little trick or treaty. A little trick or treaty. All right, so let's see. This is puzzle 32. Immediately, my eye goes to this. Okay, I'm not saying this is the answer yet. Okay, I'm not saying taking the A rook is the answer at this point. Let me think. Just let me think. Okay. Let's. I'm gonna play it safe. Let's take a piece count. I got my 3 major. My opponent has 3 major. I've got 2 minor. My opponent has 2 minor. I do not like this G pawn in my territory. However, God, could it be as simple as, yeah, is this G pawn just trying to throw me off, trying to divert my eyes, divert mine eyes from this? Because if I take the queen to d4, it doesn't have time to move this knight. It has to deal with that check. Is there something else? There's no other checks. It can't be that simple. What rating are we getting into? We're almost to hit the 1700s. Is there something I'm missing here? Maybe that is it. I guess it is. I mean, but, okay, but can't I just take this knight? And that's a pin. Can this queen do something? Oh, well, the queen can come here, though. I guess that's the problem of it, but if I take, the queen goes here. Then I just go here. The queen goes there. Okay, so there's some problems here. Oh, wait a minute. I have to prevent that queen from coming here. If it does, is there a way out? Not really. Maybe if I up here. And this happens. Hmm. Do I have to bring this rook up here first to defend that position? Okay, so here's what, okay, so here's what I want to do is take this knight with my rook. And then, it's going to say yes, so, and the queen's going to come to f6. And then if I come here, the queen can drop down one more, and it's mate. Which makes me think I have to defend that position first. But by doing that, that does give the knight time to move away. And then I could lose my queen. There's something I'm not seeing. Okay, so there's something I'm not seeing. What if I sacrifice the bishop? It says boom. Then I boom. It's the same situation. What if I just go there now? Then it can move the knight. Wow. Am I not seeing that right? My opponent's got two major pieces lined up. I feel like I'm overthinking this or something. But if I go here, I'll just take. I feel like I need the rook here to protect that position. But then it could take, and I would take. So if that queen comes here, is it mate no matter what? If it is, then that's the answer. I have to do something about it. Because I can't go here, because it'll just go there. Then I have to go up. And it could go up. And it's just this wild back and forth goose chase. So what if I went here and oops, what if I went here now? And then it would just that, and then now I come back, and then it's that. I think I have to defend that position. So if I go there, and it goes there, phew. Okay, I think I have to defend that position. Okay, so that was right. I have to defend that position. That was difficult. But hmm. But now, should I just take that? Hmm. That seems weird. Because of that, then I would have to take with that. I almost think I need to like take this first or something. If I do that. I think I gotta take this knight. If I take the knight, then this takes. I take. It comes down. Okay. I gotta take this knight. Oh, that was a tough puzzle. That was what the pass rate is. Hmm. Okay, well, that took me a while to get past, I confess. Okay, so, all right, whatever. So black to move. Um, I think I need to go here. My opponent's gonna probably come here. Then I'm gonna take there. I mean, I don't. This almost seems too obvious. I struggled with the last puzzle, but this one seems almost too obvious. I mean, unless they want me to go there and there, and then I go, no, that's too many movements. Surely it's just that. The difference is if I go to C4, it's an immediate threat on this, and it can go down, but I'll take. It can get closer, but I'll. Okay, so if I go here and it goes there, I'll take, goes there, and then I'll just, okay. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so I think if I go here, then that my king on the B3 will own these squares, and it's gonna have to, this king is gonna have to go here, then here, then here, and by then already, okay, so probably the reaction is to want to do this, but we got to cut off that other king, and that's what we're going to do. And again, we don't want the king to come here, so if I go here, so let's start over. If I go here, my opponent goes here, I go here, they go here, I go here. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, I got to cut that off. Okay, perfect. So now we're at 33. What are we at? 1750. Okay, so let's do a few more and we'll take a break. Just looking quickly, my knee-jerk reaction is to go there with queen. It's black to move, right? Yeah, okay. Then I own that. If I put my queen there, my opponent will have to go there. And I got a beautiful fork. But my queen will, that's where my queen's going to be. Okay, let's start over. Oh, here. So if I go there, I'm not using all my pieces. Okay, the knight defends the D3 square. So my queen can sit there. The other can take the queen. There's only one square that can go. And this is where the H rook comes in and does this. And then that's mate, right? So it should be step with the queen, step with the king, H rook, and it's mate. Okay. I'm hesitant because to me that puzzle seemed easier than even 4, 5, or 6 before it. I don't know. That's weird. Interesting. Okay, so the E-file is semi-open. I'm going to do this one and then I'm going to take a short break. The E-file is semi-open. And if I come here with the pawn, with the E-pawn, that's check. Isn't that mate? because it'll be checked from two angles, and this is owned. My queen owns that diagonal. So is it just mate in one? I mean, if I go here, it's just, it's not. It has a, I'm giving it an escape route. But if my e pawn takes to f7, isn't that just mate in one? Where the hell were all these mate in ones a while ago? What was the one where I was really stuck on? Where were those mate in ones? Is that a mate in one? I'm second guessing myself, gang, because it's a little, This is quite the quagmire here. I got a dilly of a pickle. I think it's just mate in one. What am I missing here? Okay, because that's check. But it's also check here. And it can't escape here. Okay. That seemed weird to me. Okay, whatever. So, H file is open. I've got a major piece on it. If I get my queen in on the action, that's check. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I got a hard pin on the G file. Okay, this bishop is hard pinned to its king. If I come up here to the H for check, it cannot retake. It has to take with the king. And then I bring my next bishop in. No, because then it just scoots back. Okay, wait a minute. Is there anything that can get me in check? Yes. I have to be careful because let's see what my opponent can do. We're worried about what we can do, but sometimes it's easy to forget what your opponent can do. So if my opponent's queen drops down to b2, I think that's mate. I'm done. Which gives me a hint, a very strong hint, that I need to do movements that keeps my opponent in check, because whatever I do next, this is coming. What I drew on the board right here that leads to b2 is coming. And by the way, I know my videos are kind of boring, and I'm sorry. I try to make my videos exciting, you know, and I don't know. I don't know what to do to make them exciting. Let's just sit here quietly and run out the clock. No, let's solve these chess puzzles. That's what we're going to do. So I see this hard pin, and it makes me think, okay, wait a minute. But, so this is check. The only thing the only way out is for the king to take it. I take the D rook, swing back to H. Let's check again. Wait a minute. And now it's back, but so there's something else. What if I go here first? Then this has to happen. Okay. Wait, maybe I need to rearrange my pieces. Hold that thought. What if I go here, the king goes here, then I'm back to here. Now it's the king's turn to move, and it goes back, and I go here. No, it's the same situation. Okay, hold on, there's something I'm missing on. I very much am aware of this. Okay, so that doesn't give me time to ding dong around with other ideas. What time is it? Okay. I'm getting ready to cook on the grill. I'm going to cook a wonderful meal on the grill tonight. And my mind is starting to drift about the grill. What rating are we at? In the 1800s? Yeah. 18 something. We're probably getting close to the 1900s. So if I take the king takes, no, this isn't right. Okay, I keep getting hung up on this. Okay, I go here. King has to step here. Wait a minute. Then I go here. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let's. It might not be that it's a mate. It might just be up pieces. Let's take a piece count. And I know my audience is probably tired of me doing this. Normally I would just do this in my head, but okay, so there's my 3 major. My opponent has 2 major. I have 1 minor. My opponent has 3 minor. Okay, so let's total up the points. So the 2 rooks, that's 10, so that's 19. And then 20, 21, 22. So I got 22. Okay, our pawns evened up. I got 1 more pawn, but okay, so I got 22. So we got 9, 5, so there's 14, 15, 16, 17, 23. Okay, but I got 1 more pawn. So point-wise, we're even up. But now I'm thinking, if I go here, there, hold on a minute. No. I feel like I get here, and the king has stepped in front of its queen on the 8th rank. And I feel like that's the key to this puzzle, and I'm missing something. I'm too focused on other things that I hate to sound so philosophical, but I'm not freeing my mind because I'm too obsessed with this and I'm too focused on this pin, and it's those are great things to see, but now they're also my hindrance. They're holding me back. I need to see something else here, and I need to let go so I can see something else here. And I'm sorry to sound so philosophical, but that's the reality of what's happening here. So, I mean, let me play this out again. H8, check. It comes here. I mean, I could even take this, but then now I'm back to being in big trouble. Jeez, maybe I should just freaking take that. But then the king will take it. I can use the knight. But I wish I could get my knight in the game, but I don't have time. I don't have tempo time because of this situation, right? Am I missing something with this situation? No, I can't be. No, that's... So this is restricting my time. I don't have time to get my knight to this g5 square. What if I did this? And then I put the knight in the game. Okay, let me think of some new ideas. Let me put this baby to bed first of all here. That... No. So it goes this, then this. Then I move here. Oh, wait a minute. It takes. So what? I take back, and then I get the queen. I'm up a piece. Okay, wait a minute. I think I got it. Oh my God, I think I got it. Okay, so here's what I think now. This is why I don't play Blitz. I'm a slow talker and I'm a slow thinker. However, I'm a deep thinker and a deep talker. Not really. Okay. I think it's this. I go queen. Okay, king. It's a force. I'm making forced movements. I'm forcing my opponent to move. Whatever they have in mind, I'm screwing it up for them. Okay. So the count is even. What did I say? 23 to 23. I'm counting the pawns. So when the king goes there, a queen sacrifice. It has to take with the bishop. I lost my queen, but they lost their bishop. Well, now they lose their bishop. The king has to get out of the way. I take the queen. I've eliminated my biggest threat, and I'm now up a piece. I've eliminated my biggest threat, and I'm now up a piece. Gang, that has to be it. Okay, now I can proceed with confidence. Okay, yeah, forcing the move, just like we predicted. And now I'm just checking again to make sure. Um, so this, I'm going to lose my queen. The bishop has to retake. Rook takes bishop. King has to get out of the way. Rook takes b8 queen. I'm up a piece. And I've eliminated my biggest threat. Okay. Boom. Boom. And there it is. Wow. Okay. Having said all of that, I am going to take a break. I might actually see the solution for this next one here, actually. I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty sure I see the solution for this next puzzle. But I'm going to take a break. But I think it has something to do with, and I'm going to double check all this. So now I'm kicking the king off of the 7th rank. And wherever the king decides to go, I can get pieces used together. If the king goes here, I can come here. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Here, if the king goes here, I can go here and start to use pieces together. Okay. I think the key to this puzzle, what the author is trying to do, yes, I realize, I think they're wanting to say, oh my God, I'm about to lose my queen. Well, hang on before we hit the oh my God button. I think the key to this puzzle is using these two pieces together. Let me take a break and we'll be back and we'll give it a think. Hang with me. It's going to be good, I think. So, this looks like a fun puzzle because I'm looking at it and one reaction might be, and I thought about this, is if you go here with your queen, here d7, sorry, and the king has to move up a rank. And now your bag of tricks becomes empty because it has a defender on the 8th rank. So that's what leads me to believe, so let's clear this out. It starts with the D rook. And now the same scenario. I mean, I guess you could throw the knight here. Well, yeah. Then you go there and this. There's something to watch. Okay, before we get into all that, let's keep it simple. Here's my first idea, is to go here. If the king goes here, I go here. And the key is, my little dogs are running around. At the end of the video, I'll show my dogs. I showed them in several other videos. I showed them in my Hot Rod channel and things like that. So, but no matter where the king goes, this is what I was trying to say before I took my break. I can start using if the king goes here. You see, my advantage is I can start to use these two pieces together. And in a game, that's what you want to do. So now that I've established that, let's look at some problems with d7. It actually can, it being my opponent, can actually swing the knight out here. And then, if I advance my rook, this bishop's going to wipe me out. So, I feel like there's a mate here with this. So, let's take another step back. And am I in any kind of trouble? Yeah, because I could be put in check fairly easily right there. And then no matter where I go, I can quickly be brought back into check again. And basically I'm getting knocked around, and I think just at quick glance my opponent has enough pieces over here that it could do something. I don't quite exactly see what, but there's things that could be done that could hurt me, and it could build a box. Oh, actually, here, hang on. Let me make sure, let me see. If I don't do, I'm trying to decide, do I do moves that are, check, getting my opponent constantly in check, because what if this queen just drops right here? Is that it for me? Nearly. I could go here, and then this would happen. Yeah. So, yeah, or this. So, boom, boom, boom. I have to go here and then there. So yeah, okay. So this tells me that I have to do moves that lead to check. But I'm confused because if I go here and the knight goes here, it's got to start with this. I want to do this, but if I don't do a move that's in check, it goes there. This rook owns all that. I can go here if it makes me feel better. Then the queen goes there. Then I have to go here. And the queen goes there, and it's over. So, okay. Whoa. Oh my gosh. 3 major, 3 major, 2 minor, 2 minor. Pawns are evened up. But the pieces are working around my queen. What's the rating here? 19 something. Man, I can't freaking. So this is probably mid-1900s. I just can't get past moving this T7 and having this freaking knight come in here. then I just take it. But then the bishop takes, so do I just take the bishop with my rook? But then the queen's going to come into play. So it might come down to this. Not as the first movement, but or do I want to do it as the first movement? No, because I've got to do the check first. It's got to be this. Okay. I predicted that would happen. Oh, but I can just take... sorry, everybody. Hang on. But I can just take that. Yeah. That bishop can't come in here yet because this is still in the way. I think I was getting hung up on that. So we're going to go to this. Okay, and now, like I said, here's the gag of this. I'm now allowed to use my pieces together, which will lead to mate. Okay, yeah, that was it. That was yeah, that was the hell of it. It was going to lead to mate. So I need to let my dogs in and start the grill. I keep talking about starting the grill, but I haven't yet. All right. I just want to start looking at this puzzle. That was 1973, by the way. 1973 is what that puzzle was. And so I need to go start the grill, but I can't look away because I'm fascinated with this. Let's just take a piece count. 2 major, 2 major, a minor and a minor. Pawns are evened up. Okay, so I'm going to let my dog in and start prepping some stuff, and I'll be back. I'm looking at this puzzle, and I'll be honest, the first thing I notice is if I put my knight here, I'm attacking 2 pieces. However, they can easily defend one another. I mean, you know, if I take... I think it might be trap. I think it might have to do with trapping the queen, actually. Because if I bring the rook to a1, it can't get away because my bishop also owns a1. I got 2 attackers on the a1 square. And so the queen can't go here. The queen can't go here. The queen can't go here. The queen can't go to a3, obviously. What is this? The last one was 1973, so this one's probably close to 2000, or it maybe even is 2000, or a little more, or a little less. That seems too obvious for a 2000 ELO puzzle. It makes me think I'm missing something. Moving the queen here. Okay. Do you really get a free rook? No. Because what if the knight goes here? Well, then bishop takes the knight. I'm still threatening this rook. I think that's the gag of it. I think the immediate first thing I saw was this, and I think that's what the author wants to trick you up on. I think the author doesn't want you to take the time to see this. Because are they going to lose that? Is there anything? Can my opponent do anything to get me in check? No. Okay. So that's a little sigh of relief. If I bring F rook to A1, there's nowhere it can go. Because it can't just go up one and take the A3 pawn. I mean, hello. You'll get recaptured. You can't come here. I think it's just threatening the queen or getting the queen. I think it's just a matter of taking the queen. I think the author is trying to trick us and forcing us to see something here. I'm going for it because I really think that's what it is. Shit. Now, it's fight fire with fire. However, hang on. I take their queen, they take mine, but then I get the next movement, and my next movement is to take. So now we go into the end game, and I have a rook and a bishop, and my opponent only has a rook. So it's not as glorious as it first seems. However, we go into an end game, I'm up a piece, a minor piece. Yeah. Okay, good. So the first thing I see, what was that rated? 2015, or is that 2015. So this would be mate, but it has a defender. So can I remove that defender? No. But what if there's another way? This pawn, the C pawn, C3, is kicking some arse for me. It's working well in my favor. And I think again, hard pin. See that? Anytime your opponent puts something in front of their king, alarm bells should be going off. So I can't just step up here because it's defended, here being the D1 square. But what if I take my queen to the E1 square, okay? And it's check. And it's nearly mate. The only thing it can do to get out of trouble is defend with the bishop. And then I just take the D1 square, and that's mate, right? I think the gag of it is, for lack of better words, is maybe the author just doesn't want you to see this queen here, but this is 2000 something puzzle. Makes me think I'm missing something. But if I go here, it can't, and it can't. It can only do this, and then it does that. Okay. That's what it is, I'm sure of it. Yeah, okay, so that was 39, we're working on 40. Okay, black to move. Where are we going? What time is it? Okay. All right, I don't want to break my momentum, however. I need to get the grill started. Just quickly some things I see. Check. This goes over here. I can go back to check. You know, honestly, forget all that. I'm tempted just to line up these two pieces. And then that's mate. So they would stop that by going here. But I could bring up the bishop here. Or even bring the knight. You know what it might be? It might just be this and says, hey, uh-oh, that's mate in one. That's mate in one. So it deals with it, and then I just pick up a free knight. Yeah? Maybe. People are going to get annoyed with me, but let's go back to this. Three major. All right. Minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. My opponent's minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pawns are even up. So theoretically, I have a free knight waiting on me. I can pick up a free knight, I think. It says, whoa, that's made in one. I can't have that. It's got to deal with it, and then I just pick up a knight. Right? I'm going to do this 40th puzzle, and then I'm going to take a break. I'm going to freshen up my drink. I'm going to cook on the grill. I don't want to break my momentum, but it seems like there should be some kind of a mate here that I'm missing. I think it's just take your knight and go home. Take your knight and call it a day. And I'm just up a piece. The problem is when you get into these 2000s, the answer isn't so obvious. And I always feel like I'm missing something here, but all right, I need to start the grill. I think it's just pick up a knight. And my dogs are getting a little restless. They're getting hungry too. I think it's just pick up a knight. I think it's just pick up a knight. Okay, there's that. I think it's just pick up a knight. Okay, so this, now before I just take, let me make sure. Because this is sometimes where I hate these puzzles. I could threaten first, and then that forces a move, and then I take. Shit. I don't want to be hasty. I feel like the author's like, yay, congratulations, you did it. Now there's just this one silly little thing you got to do. Well, hang on. You know how many times I've thought, yeah, it's just the one silly little thing, and then it ends up, it's like, oh no, you missed it. It's like, you know, you have 5 seconds to fill in the circles with the number 2 pencil, and answer as many as you can, and you pick up your pencil and the lead's broke, and you spent half your time at the sharpener. I'm going to take the bishop because it's there. I hate exposing my king. However, I don't see where anything can drop down and put me in check. I'm taking the bishop. Nice. Okay. So that was the right choice. In her game, though, I got to tell you, I think I might have threatened the rook first. I think I might have. I need to quit there. I'll be back. Hang with me. We're at 40. Let's see how far we can go. I'm going to be running my big fat mouth. You know. You want to know what I think? No, nobody wants to hear the lunatic ramblings of a loudmouth malcontent. That's me. Okay. I'm back in the other room. So I'm cooking on a charcoal grill, and I got the charcoal started, and so I'm going to try to hop back and forth, and I apologize for that. But I'm looking at this puzzle. The first thing that jumps at me is if I had these 2 major pieces lined up, if the queen was down here on h8, I could come up here and it's mate. Okay, so do I have the time to put that together? Well, before I start heading in that direction, can I be brought into check? No, I will be abandoning my bishop, probably. And then after that, then I can be put into check. And this pawn, this G pawn, if my opponent sees this, and they probably will, and they start to give themselves an escape route, I'm going to push this pawn up and closing that escape route and getting these 2 major pieces lined up. So let me show you my goal. What I think is to get these 2 pieces lined up. If needed, I can push this pawn to close off this escape route, you know, if the F pawn comes down. So I'm going to do the hokey pokey because I think that's what this is all about. That was terrible. Okay. But what if, just for fun, if I go here now, takes, then I come back, then it goes back. No, they got to get lined up. All right, I think they got to get lined up. Okay, and so I think it's important to close this escape route now, because a knee-jerk reaction might be just to go to h1 with your rook, but then your king can get out of there. I don't see where it's got to be to close that off. I'm closing that off. Okay, and I lost my bishop, just like I thought. And this should be mate. And it is. Okay, great. Now, where are we at? That last one was 2155. Okay. So the very first thing I noticed, D file is open. Got two major pieces on it. So the dream would be to go here, but that's not going to happen. So is there something else I can do with this? And let's look and see. What if I bring the queen here? And I haven't looked at my opponent's stuff yet, other than this immediate situation. There might be something lurking that is really, really bad. I don't know. Okay, so if I go here, okay, wait a minute. I think I see it. Okay, I think I see it. Queen goes to d7. King has to, this is a forcing move. It's a forcing move. King has to go here. Now I can take the queen all the way up to the 8th rank, and it takes with the rook. I take rook takes rook, and it's mate because this is a pin. It's pinned. So, I'm glad I took a little break. I was starting to get a little tired, and I'm feeling a little refreshed. And I think this is it. I'm confident. I'm maybe overly confident. I need to slow down. I'm getting too confident, because now I see. Hang on, because I go here, here, and then here, and it's mate because you can't retake. But is there a more efficient way to do it? Like, what if I go here? Then the king has to step back. And then I could go here. And then this. See, it could be done either way, actually. Hang on. So, let me just, I don't want to outsmart common sense, but let me think about this. Boom, boom. That's one movement. And then that, and it's done, right? The queen to d8 forces the take to the exchange, okay? Because of that pin, it can't, yeah, it's got to take because of that pin. Okay, great, perfect. Now, okay, let's keep this going as black to move. Can it have, my opponent have, I say it because it's a computer. If my opponent moved dark squared bishop to d6, would it be mate? No, because I have a defender. So let me think about this. What if I take my bishop and just get it the hell out of the way? Then it can do this, then I do this, and then it goes here. No, it nearly works, but not quite. If I go here, then it goes there. Then I go there. It has to go here. Okay, I need to keep thinking about that. I need to pause my recording and get the, it's charcoal grill, but I need to flip the charcoal to the bottom, put the grate on, and I need to start the meat. I hate to do this, but let me get the grill going. Okay, so just to show you, I wasn't kidding. This is my little charcoal grill. I've got honey mustard chicken over here on the left, and big hamburgers that I'm making on the right here in the middle. And yeah, so that is what I am making for my wife and I and our 3 dogs. And so my wife and I are going to have the honey mustard chicken, and the meat is for us and the dogs. So yeah, let's get back to the chess puzzles.